I wanted a strong public interest program because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that there was a Latino Law Students Association and a Minority Law Students Association. It's really important to know people and to build community while you're in law school. I graduated from law school about 8 years ago. My first job at a law school was clerking at the Court of Appeals. I did that for 2 years and then got my dream job at the time, which was working at a civil rights litigation firm. I did that for about 3 years and then decided to do public policy work at the national level. Currently, I work at an international foundation operating in 60 different countries that focuses on human rights and civil rights work. The common thread in all the work that I've done is social justice and civil rights. In each of my positions, I've been able to advocate for a more equitable society, for more equality and opportunity, and increased participation in the democratic process. So when I was in law school, and actually before law school, I always pictured myself being in the courtroom, litigating, practicing law. But what I realized after being in the court a long time and practicing for several years is it's not exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the other side of the equation, and I'm extremely happy doing that now. Not practicing law, but being able to do the work that I'm doing now as a result of the law school education and getting the JD. When I was looking for law schools, one of the things I looked at was the percentage of graduates who worked in the public interest sector, a diverse community, a community that would allow me to step in and right away begin working on pro bono issues, and even as a law student to support the community and do organizing and civil rights work. El Centro de la Raza is a community group here in town that does a lot of organizing. They fight for Latino causes. I started a project in law school that was a farm worker rights clinic. It didn't get off the ground by the time I graduated, and I continued working on it with the community. We were finally able to get the Farm Worker Justice Project up and running, and it's still going today. It's very strong. It's improving each year.
¿Cómo estás? No, so nice to see you.
If I were to give a law student advice on looking for a school that fit those particular needs, I would say definitely visit the school if you can. If you can't visit the school, do research on the community, reach out to alumni, look very carefully beyond just the law school ranking, but at things like the types of work students are doing after graduation, the diversity of the school, and the diversity of the community in the school. I doubt I would be where I'm at today if I hadn't found a school that offered those opportunities.
The primary reason that it is important to have more lawyers of diverse background is lawyers are leaders. Lawyers learn the skills to become leaders, in large part through that law school experience. The skills that law students build upon, those are useful skills throughout your life in whatever venue you choose to pursue. So I think it's so important for young people to start thinking of the law as not just an end, but a means to an end, to many different ends.
We now have an African-American president, which is a historic achievement, but it doesn't signal the end of racial inequality in this country. About 3% of the attorneys in this country are Latino. The number of African-Americans is very small as well, Native Americans and Asian Americans, and those numbers need to come up for us to adequately represent the communities that we come from. For law school students that come from diverse backgrounds, the world is essentially their oyster. They can do whatever they want. Any opportunity that exists, they can certainly achieve it. When I was a law student, the focus was strictly on domestic civil rights work, and now what we're seeing is new tactics that employ human rights doctrines and international treaties, both domestically and abroad, that can move policy forward. It looks like we've got to do a lot of work to turn out more voters, particularly young people, voters of color. My career goal is to continue working in the civil rights and human rights context, likely at the national or international level, moving public policy forward. I have the option to go back and practice law, but I doubt I will. I find that working in the public policy sector is, from my perspective, more rewarding, and I can actually move policy a lot faster than if I were taking the litigation track. I'm here today to answer any questions that you all have about getting into law school. It's, first of all, very competitive and tough to get into. In law school, there are some challenging moments and some discouraging moments. I certainly left law school with student loans, but The important thing is if you stick to what your goals are and follow your dreams, you'll be able to do what you want to do and live comfortably. You've got to work hard, but at the end of the day, the tools that you have from law school are invaluable.